All right, new clubs, new P7 series, exciting, always exciting for new clubs. The new P7MC, new 770, new 790. Honestly, I don't even know, I forgot to ask. I don't pay attention to the 790s, I don't play the 790s. So, I mean, it looks like the old one and they just came out with it, I think a year ago. I didn't even ask if there's actually anything different. There's rumors about like a new foam and stuff like that, but hit all three today. We'll go over the data and everything. So, we'll see how it works out. Let's start with the new fit kit. This is really cool. So instead of, you know, the 2 up, 1 flat head, you know, the different heads, it's a 1 head per model, 6 sleeves, so you can take the heads multiple degrees, weak or strong, and upright and flatter just with the sleeves. I play a little flat. It's awesome to me. People want to be able to bend them strong, and that's the beauty of it, being able to dial in those combinations, being able to like take the MC a little strong, the 770 a little weak, and try to get a better idea of where they would blend for you. I mean, it seems like something that should have been done a while ago. I don't know if people are going to love all the little pieces and everything, but as far as like fitting, you know, instead of having to go off of a number and then like, but we'll bend that too strong for you. I mean, if you go to a custom fitter, that's a nice place, they'll bend it for you right there, but a lot of other places that people go to, you're basically just projecting the numbers you would get, and now they'll be able to dial it in, which is great. I'm a 7MC guy. I own the last ones. I really liked them. So I got to hit them when I first saw them a while back. But I spent some time with them on monitor like 4 or 5 days ago, trying some new shafts and stuff. And I noticed something in the data that seemed a little off. So before I hit them again, I actually measured them. So this is before they've come out. I haven't seen the press on them. And the stock fitting head was 35 degrees, one weaker than the previous version. Should blend seamlessly with the blades, which look great, by the way, much better. People are going to be happy about them, I think. But that was interesting. I had a little more spin, a little more launch than I normally do. So that was interesting, and I kind of took that into my account mentally before hitting everything today. So started off with the P7MC, hit 7 of them, pieced a few together. You can hear the sound differences. You should be able to pick out a sound difference between these three. Let's see how it went. Okay, before we look at the data, let's talk about the MCs a little bit. I would love to say that they're like softer this time around. Everyone, you know, wanted something like that, or more forgiving. They're still the P7MCs. They felt softer today than I would have him the other day, but that's the ball change. I didn't notice anything in that at all. They pulled some weight, and you can tell in the shaping of the wave here, like they pulled some weight. It looks like a little lower. It's a little thicker than heel. I don't know the balance of it. With the fitting head, you know, with the sleeve, I don't know the weight of it. It feels like they might have made it like a little more towards the heel overall, like pulled some back from the toe, but it's really hard to say. Group head looks the same. There's still light milling on the face. You can see the top lines. I mean, it's pretty much the same. Everything, there's a little bit like different shape to the line, the strike area. You know, like maybe a little less toe, but they look pretty similar. The soles are actually about the right side. The chrome right there really hides it, so in the bag it doesn't, like visually, you just kind of, my eyes can't even focus on it, so they look smaller in the bag, but I mean, they're a little different trail relief from the toe. I mean, you can see this is the newer one, that they're, you know, they are kind of the same shape. So from the toe, the old one actually looks a little smaller there, but you know, similar, slightly different camber. Like I said, a little bit of different trail relief, and there you can kind of see the milling looks about the same. Look great over the ball. There is a little less offset, I think, in the new ones, but at that, like I said, we put it on the old Mitchell, and that stock head was at 35, which is a little interesting because it kind of cuts out part of the market, I think. A lot of people with those 34s were taking them strong just to get their distance that they wanted. So you do that, and you're going to put that offset right back on there. I don't know. They should blend with the blades, but yeah, so I think that less offset will be countered if you do take them back to 34 a little bit, but they look great over the ball, nice and compact, gorgeous. Okay, now we'll look at the data on those. Like I said, hit 7 shots, had that one that was just a small miss, but really, you know, it showed up. Little draws, and I kind of stuck with this. I wanted to hit everything the exact same, so even though normally I'd be like another degree, launch to the right to curve back, I've kept that with them on the next 2 clubs, so you'll see everything kind of moves like further and a little further left. But I wanted to get the exact same strike and face and everything on all three to kind of see a better comparison, and it worked out really well in the end. Thing was right on the money between the three models, but real consistent. Launcher's real consistent. I'm not, like I said, I'm not used to playing graphite, but I've tried playing the 125TX in this. I'm playing it, hitting it, because I'm determined over the winter to find a graphite that works for me. I play a ton of rounds, and it's just starting to add up. So a little higher launch than I'm used to, but with the V1, that's really manageable spin for me, good speed for the loft, I think, and yeah, real consistent carry. Even that one that lost some speed still had pretty good carry. The new matte, or brushed a little bit, P770s next. Like I said, again, hit 7 of them, pieced a few together so you could hear the strikes. Should be able to tell a little difference. Okay, you can probably tell a little difference in the sound of those strikes. 770 spicy, you know, it's fast. People have been talking about that this smells faster or something. I don't know if they'll claim that. It seemed like the 770 to me. I mean, it was spicy before, easy to launch, good speed, not as much spin. Seems kind of the same. To me, it always feels at my speed a little, and I'm not going all out here, a little mushy out of the center, like it almost feels like soft and a little, it's a hollow body out of the center, and then when you drift a little bit, you get an edge. And I will say that this one did seem, if you move the strike a little bit, to be not as that edgy sound and feel. It did seem slightly improved on that to me. I had one that I caught a little weird, and yeah, I could hear it, but not as much, I don't think. But I did notice, like looking at the head side by side, that it feels like there's a little more like heel to toe radius there or something than the old one. That seems a little straighter across the front, and I mean, looking at the heads in my hand, it just seemed like that to me, and I would love that through the turf personally. Like you said, the soles are pretty much the same from above. Nothing really stands out, and you can tell they look a lot nicer. That you got rid of a bunch of that chrome. They blend really seamlessly with the 790. That look together, like you could hardly tell in someone's bag. I'll show you a picture in a bit, like them right next to each other. It's a much better transition visually. Oh, I should have said I didn't notice anything on the offset with the 770 or anything. I didn't actually check the loft on it either. I'm guessing it's around the same as last time, like it was 33. It felt like it was about the same. You can see the numbers right here on it. Like I said, I swung it just a half a mile an hour faster, but the delivery was exactly the same. You know, so more ball speed, little lower launch, decent bit less spin. And I just didn't start that one quite as much right. So you're going to see in the end, each kind of draw curve gets a little more dramatic. It's with each club as we go. But, you know, 9 yards of carry on average, but still, you know, real consistent, you know, 3 yard dispersion on the carry. Spin, pretty good throughout. I mean, there was a big jump in forgiveness, even just hitting them on a monitor for me right there. Like, you can tell that they're not BMCs, like that it's a much more helpful club. Because like I drifted on one end, I mean, it barely changed. The spin might have dropped a couple hundred, but the speed was right there. There definitely is a separation there on forgiveness that's pretty wide in my opinion. All right, I said I'd show you a picture of the 770 next to the 790. I mean, it blew my mind in hand now with them with the same finish and everything. And looked at, I mean, you'd be hard pressed to tell from above 790, 770 MC, these two apart in someone's bag. I mean, you'd have to look close. So like to be visually, that's great. Definitely more offset in the 790. That kind of tricked my eye when I got over the ball. Since I was already trying to stay on that path, it was creating a draw. I was like, oh boy, here we go. Now more offset. So I ended up only hitting 3 with the 790. I pieced those 3 together. You'll be able to hear them. And then I'll show you the data and show you why I only hit 3. All right, that was the 790. You probably hear sound difference similar to the 770, but a little sharper to me. Just a little more in it with that sound difference, even out of the middle. But just a solid performer. Like I said, normally I would have adjusted the start line, you know, to play that same draw, but have it end up along the line. But I wanted to keep that face to path and everything the same between all 3 clubs, and I kind of put myself in that corner with the MC right off the bat. So it's just longer, a little more draw, a little more time in the air, but yeah, fast, real consistent for those 3 shots. I mean, it carries the exact same every time. Just real consistent. Lower launch, obviously, less spin. I think there's a bigger loft gap between the 790 and 770 than there is the 770 and the MC. So I'm not surprised as much on the launch. But yeah, 3.5 miles an hour between the MC and the 770 on speed for me. About 5 between the 770 and the 790. Most of that stuff for me is usually based in loft. Sometimes if there's some real low tech that helps launch, I'll get a little difference on there. But different people, different swings, different speeds, see different benefits. But there's the numbers. 9 yards on carry between the MC and the 770, and looks like, what, 13 on the 790. So you can tell why I play the ones that I do. But yeah, pretty exciting new release, I think. Looks like a refinement in the MC, the 770. I know they played with the CG a little bit on them, so people should see a little bit different things throughout the set and the progression there. And the 790, like I said, I forgot to even ask if it's new or not. So go get fit, find out for yourself, I guess.